So, while yeah, Xbox gets a lot of hate, and justfully so. Clearly, obviously, they're going to get a lot of discord for the things that they do and the things that they've kind of done that don't make any sense. There's still going to be some good things and some things to look forward to. Like if you have an Xbox, situation where you're hoping to be able to play the games that are coming out this upcoming year, you're going to be fine. Your Xbox Series S, your Xbox Series X are going to work fine. And again, this is going to be a situation where it kind of comes down to the user. But this is, to me, is the good news, and I think that's going to be universally looked at as pretty damn good news for Xbox fans, especially given the year that we've had this year. No wrap-up, prices increased twice on the consoles, 50% increase on Game Pass. You also have where Microsoft tried to raise the price of games to $80 a piece. Thousands of people fired from Xbox. Yeah, it's been a pretty rough year. I mean, when you look at it, only how many games were exclusive that they released? Maybe one. Now it's pretty bleak. But kind of looking at the situation, the way that it's come about, it is good that we are going to get Fable next year. So, there's a lot of people worried about that. A new Fable update seemingly has good news about its release date. According to Xbox, the long-awaited Fable reboot is going to, in fact, release in 2026. We've known this for a while now, but, we weren't really sure because there hasn't been any kind of date specifically discussed. In fact, considering previous delays in the game's long development, many are worried that the window of 2026 isn't going to stick and the Xbox Series X game will just slip into 2027, and maybe it'll happen, but a big news update suggests otherwise. More specifically, it's been revealed that Microsoft ended its contract with Eidos Montreal for the game's development. As you may know, Fable is being made by Playground Games, the team behind the Forza Horizon series. That said, the team is different. This isn't the Forza Horizon team, but largely a brand new team built from the ground up to make this game specifically. It's a huge effort to revive the Fable series in modern day, so let alone do it with a brand new studio you are building up at the same time. So it's no surprise the team has been assisted with substantial contract support. To this end, Eidos Montreal brought over a sizable team of 100 developers to work on the game way back in 2022. As of this year, that work has stopped. If you didn't know what Eidos Montreal did, they did one of my all-time favorite games of this entire generation, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy. Some people obviously didn't give it a chance because they thought maybe it was going to be like that Avengers game, which, I thought the Avengers game did good with the single-player aspect, but when it comes down to it, people avoided the game because of that. I love the game. I thought the characters were great, the writing was great, the story was great. I played it on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, and PS5. That's how much I love the game. So they have a definite pedigree there and do a good job. So I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to actually be able to accomplish there. And, that's going to be a very big thing for me personally anyway when I kind of look at this. But, again, this was spotted over by somebody. There's a reason some of basically kind of look at how this has worked out. Some Xbox fans and others have taken this as bad news, as it means fewer developers working on the game, and may even indicate that Xbox was not overly impressed with the help, but this seems to be an indicator of more than anything else. It's that the game is in its final stages of development, and thus requires less outside assistance. If this is indeed the case, then its 2026 release date is locked in. There are some other explanations for the discontinuity, but the most likely explanation at this point is that the game is now in the polishing phase and nearing the end of full production. If so, then the services of Eidos Montreal would no longer be needed. If the above is true, then Fable certainly will get a release date announced soon, and Microsoft has a first-party thing at the beginning of the year, so we'll know kind of more what's going on there. With the Developer Direct scheduled to go down next month, the show has featured Fable in the past, and it's been confirmed it will feature the RPG again this year. This time it looks like it'll be complete with the release date announcement. All of that said, and as always, feel free to take it with a grain of salt until we understand and know 100% for sure about which is going on. Because, listen, anything can be, anything can happen at any time, right? So Microsoft, I believe, delayed, Fable, I think, could have come out this year if Microsoft absolutely wanted to do that. They pushed it to next year because they wanted to do this big Halo, Gears, Forza, Fable release thing for the 25th anniversary. That the only way that could come back and I think bite them in the rear is if, you know, is if they were originally planning to release Fable the second half part of the year, where, you know, we were going to see, you know, the GTA 6 game. So, you know, like I said, I think that it is going to be very interesting to see how all these things happens. It's going to be interesting to see how Microsoft handles like the future and things like that. But I still think, you know, this is potentially really good news because I think Microsoft has kind of an idea what they're going to do. And again, there's rumors that one of the reasons they delayed the game in the first place was to get a PlayStation 5 version ready at the same time. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I'm 100% positive that the game is going to release on, you know, that the game is actually going to release on the PlayStation 5. I just don't know if it's going to release at the same time. So, you know, and not because, oh, they're trying to give, you know, Xbox fans a certain thing or whatever. You know, it's just because I truly believe that what they're trying to do is just kind of make sure that people are going to have something to play and they want to get it out, right? So just like with, I think, Forza Horizon 6, the majority of that work was done with Xbox. That, you know, it was just really kind of awesome. And, you know, they're trying to get these games ready for Xbox, just like with South of Midnight, with like Avowed. You're trying to get these games ready for Xbox. If you're trying to do it for other consoles as well, that's going to take a longer time. So that's why they didn't do that. So that's pretty much the idea behind that, and why it wouldn't launch at the same time versus something like a Halo CE, which obviously they're trying to build that up on PlayStation so that when they release new mainline versions of the game, you know, they'll be caught up or whatever. You know, is that going to work? It's really hard saying. And the reason why it's hard saying is because Halo is a bigger name than Gears of War for sure. But, you know, Microsoft did try releasing Gears of War 1 on PlayStation, and it didn't really go over that well. Like, they only had 1 million players on it. That was the official announcement. Players, mind you, considering, you know, this was a free upgrade for people that own the game on Xbox originally from 2014, like me. And also, you know, there's Game Pass and there's Game Pass PC, and yet, you know, only 1 million people. They're saying, according to estimates, like 100,000 units were sold on PlayStation, which isn't very good for something like that. Now, I wholeheartedly believe that Halo will do better on PlayStation. I still don't think that it's going to be like some massive thing that is, you know, widely looked upon as like great or whatever the case may be. So, you know, we'll see. You know, I think that we are starting to see a situation where, you know, some of these things are coming up, and, you know, I firmly believe in the future, probably post 2026, everything that releases on Xbox will release on PlayStation day one. I think the only reason why not right now is, like I said, because they have to get stuff out, and you would have to delay stuff even more to make sure that it did that, and I don't think they're willing to do that at this particular point, because you have, you know, people subscribing to Game Pass and things like that, and you have to get games out. So, you know, I think it'll be interesting to see how, you know, these things play out. I do think that everything is going to be, you know, is going to be locked in on PlayStation. So, you know, if you're one of those people that can kind of deal with that, and you kind of understand that, you know, fans are going to have to kind of deal with that in the future, and you're okay with it, hey, good. You're going to still have things to kind of understand and play. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I think that we're going to see a lot of these things in the future where fans are just going to have to kind of accept things or not. You know, for me, it's like I have a Xbox still. I don't plan on getting whatever they decide to come out with that's new, but I do, you know, I will play my Xbox for the few games that really interest me. Does Halo CE interest me? Another remake of that? No. You know, does Fable interest me? For sure. So that's a game that I'm definitely going to be interested in. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how fans kind of react to that. And, if gamers are going to be receptive to that or not. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited to see this game come out? Are you guys going to play it? Are you going to Game Pass it? Do you want it to come to PlayStation? If you're a PlayStation only fan, let me know. I'll link this in the description. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.